Okay. Well, I couldn't help but notice it's been a while since I released a video. So, what's the matter, buddy? What's the matter, Cleo? Um, but I just wanted to talk about the TOD. Like, why is everybody complaining about TOD from CCW this year? Jimmy Havoc won. Connor Claxton lost. Everybody hates it, and I can't stand. But it bothers me. They say it was the worst tournament of death yet, but I really don't see that. This tournament of death was the best tournament of death since 10, in my opinion. It was just a little bit better than 14. Just a little bit better than 14. And everybody knows 14 is probably my favorite. What was my favorite tournament of death besides 3, but now this is probably my second favorite TOD. But just everybody saying that Jimmy Havoc shouldn't have won. Well, what's the problem with Jimmy Havoc? I mean, yeah, in his first match he didn't really take anything, but oh well. What are you gonna do? I thought he put on a really good performance. Uh, John Wayne Murdoch probably should have advanced, but not a big deal to me. In his second round match with Masada, Masada just kind of ruined that match for me because he just dished everything out. Um, the finish of that match was kind of weak. Just the clothesline looked pretty weak, and Masada didn't take anything, so it was just kind of meh. And another thing, why did Schlack not go over? Why did Masada go over Schlack? Schlack, I was rooting for him in the finals. I wish he would have gone to the finals against Connor. But why? Why? I feel like every year, just somebody has to screw something up with the booking. Like last year's. Last year was alright, book it in the first round until. Why did, like last year, Matt Tremont went over Alex Colon in the finals? They basically told you, like my friend Braden said, they told you Matt Tremont was going to lose in the finals. I'm just rambling. And so just kind of ruins it for me. But this tournament was very unpredictable in the finals. I was thinking Connor was going to go over. Some other people were thinking Jimmy was going to go over, but I was surprised whenever Jimmy went over in the finals, and he put on a really good performance. And I like the fact that Jimmy is the outside guy, and he's a technical wrestler, and that's what a lot of these deathmatch fans are complaining about. I'm tired of all these deathmatch fans, deathmatch wrestlers that just they have no they're not talented. Some deathmatch wrestlers that are being put over today are not talented. I like all forms of wrestling. Don't get me that, and I like deathmatch wrestling. But some guys just are more talented than others, and the technical round. And some deathmatch wrestlers just rely on that, hitting somebody with light tubes, cutting them with glass. That's it. And I don't really like that style. Yeah, I like some of my death matches to be just a bloody brawl, but just sometimes I need some technical wrestling in that, or some lucha, or something like that. It can't just be hack. What Zandig says, hack and slash all the time. But and just these deathmatch fans who are supposed to be deathmatch fans, they're if a non deathmatch wrestling fan insults a deathmatch wrestling event or a match, they freak out, and that I just don't understand that because other deathmatch wrestling fans can and will insult other deathmatch wrestlers, and they're just fine with it. But as soon as somebody who's not a fan calls it stupid and untalented, which I kind of agree with that being stupid. Deathmatch wrestling is probably one of the dumbest things you can do, but it's entertaining and it looks fun. It's fun. I backyard wrestle all the time. It's fun. You have a good time. But you cannot hide the fact that it's one of the dumbest things you can do to your body. And that's why I love deathmatch wrestlers so much, because they have a passion for it and they're willing to hurt themselves. But just why it's so this Defend Deathmatch Wrestling worldwide versus Defend Deathmatch Wrestling International, it makes me sick to my stomach because, man, all you deathmatch fans need to lighten up. All of you should be like me, okay? I don't care about other things. I just want to watch wrestling, and I want to talk about wrestling. That's all I want to do. I don't care about the controversy. I don't like the drama. Y'all need to chill out. All you deathmatch wrestling fans that just you're so you just confuse me a lot of times. But enough with that. I want to talk about Tournament of Survival. I haven't seen Tournament of Survival yet. From the music video I saw on Palmer, I think that's how you pronounce the name. I don't care. But Palmer, you make great videos. I mean, I've told you that before. I just want to tell you that again. But from that music video, it looks awesome. But I honestly think TOD will be the best tournament this year. Now, and another thing I want to point out is King of the Death. Ian, why must you screw up every year? No, you ruin King of the Death matches. You just need to lay it down and let Sami Callihan take the booking. Because that's what Combat Zone Wrestling is going to do. And I guarantee you, I'll bet $1,000 that it will be 10 times better than what it was before. And CZW going with Sami booking everything, and they're going less and less death matches. I like the idea. CZW should not have to have a death match every single show. You know, I like CZW nowadays for the wrestling. Now the death matches are pretty fun, but what makes me keep going to CZW is the wrestling, the high flying, the technical aspect. That's what keeps me going to watch. Like I said, I'm a fan of all wrestling. I like the PWG style. I like the technical style. I like the hardcore style. And I feel like, something else that bothers me whenever people say all deathmatch wrestlers are untalented. There are a lot of deathmatch. About 90% of all deathmatch wrestlers can wrestle. In the world, they can wrestle. There's just that 10% that just they're not really that talented, and professional wrestlers turn to death matches to make a living, and I'm okay with that. But you can't really put them over in tournaments unless they work really hard. Like for an example, Freak Show. Freak Show's not the best technical wrestler, but he is one of the best hardcore wrestlers. That's just my opinion. And Freak Show works hard. Like Carnage Cup 3, he worked really hard. He like whenever he got like cut right here or something, that was like meat hanging off. That was an awesome spot or match, whatever. And Freak Show worked really hard in that tournament, and he got put over because he worked hard. Now he wasn't the best wrestler, but he had to work hard, and that's what I feel like what this deathmatch scene is lacking today is hard-working wrestlers. That a lot of them just go there for a pay, and that's just my opinion. You can agree with that, like, oh, all deathmatch matches are hard working. Not really. I mean, some deathmatch workers just go there for a pay. You know, a lot of them don't have the passion like Nick Gage, Matt Tremont, even G-Raver. G-Raver's one of my favorites today. I love him. I love G-Raver. And on about the ramblings, but I'm going to talk about the things that I do like. Oh yeah, well let me finish the King of the Death match. Last year, Ian ruined King of the Death matches by having John Wayne Murdoch versus DJ Hyde in the semifinals. That was terrible. I felt like that match was garbage. That match was complete garbage. I threw up. I threw up in my mouth whenever I watched that match. But the thing that really bothers me is you put Dale, which is one of the best deathmatch wrestlers today. You make him lose in the semifinals to somebody who's already had his fair share. Last year, Matt Tremont, that was his fourth time in the finals of King of the Death, and that was just a dumb decision. Don't even get me started on that. And this year, you put RSP against the person who won last year, and it just bothers me. It bothers me. I hate. And Devin Moore, why is he getting put over? Well, how old are you? Like 60? Jesus, man. You need to calm down before you break more bones, like your ankle. You know? And you put Devin over Manus or whatever Warner. You put him over Warner. Warner is, in the next 3 years, Warner will be the top deathmatch guy. I guarantee you, in the next 3 years, Warner will be the top deathmatch guy that everybody wants to have in his tournaments, and their shows. I'm a firm believer in that because, man, I love Manus so much. Such a good wrestler and deathmatch wrestler. He's talented both ways. But now let me talk about the things that I like, which is Manus. I like Manus, G Raver, Jeff Cannonball. He's making a lot of progress. Starting to kind of like him. I wasn't really a fan of Jeff Cannonball that much, but now that he's starting to lose weight and kind of try a little bit harder. Not saying that he wasn't like trying, but he's just trying to try. He's just trying a little bit harder in his wrestling today, and I'm actually becoming a fan of him. His match with G Raver was insane. They both took equal amount of bumps. It was awesome. It was awesome, to say the least. And I also like Jeff Cannonball because he's starting. Whenever he started out, he was bad. He was bad. But now that I feel like he's trying to learn more about the business, and he's made progress. You look at his TOD performance last year versus this year. It just blows me away at how much progress he's made. And I don't know, Josh Crane. I like Josh Crane, but he's starting to kind of, I don't know. Ever since his injury, he's starting to kind of slow down a little bit. And Dale Patrick, he's really good. Dale Patrick is, I love Dale Patrick's. He's insane. He really is. He's one of the most insane deathmatch wrestlers today. Who's another deathmatch wrestler? G Raver. I think I already said that, but I don't care. But Manus, G Raver, Jeff Cannonball, all of them, and Madman. Oh yeah, Madman Pondo actually put on a really good performance, and versus Tremont. That was a really good match. I was thinking that match was just gonna fall on its face, but it didn't. It was one of the best matches of that tournament. It really was. That was probably that was in the top 5 best matches of that tournament. And that kind of wraps it up. But yeah, OPW Survival of the Sickest. That I enjoyed this tournament. It was different from a lot of the other. Can you please get out of my shot? Ian, please go that way. But it was different, and it worked. It's not as good as last year's. Last year's I really liked last year's, but this year's was I think JD Horror should have went over because I'm a JD Horror fan. I love JD. He's good. He's good. But I think that kind of just wraps it up. Talking about deathmatch. Oh yeah, and another thing that I want to talk about, new guys, Joey Janela. He's a really good wrestler. He's one of the most. He's a lot of people don't consider him new, but I consider him new, and I consider him new, and I consider him a really great wrestler all around. He's good at that high flying stuff. He's good at technical stuff. He's good at the death matches. He's good at everything, and he's gonna go far. I think he's gonna be in the WWE sometime, but I just hope. He's going to be in the WWE sometimes, and I hope WWE does not screw it up for him like they did Sammy, because Sammy's one of the best wrestlers of all time. I mean, if I was going to rank my favorite wrestlers of all time, he would be in there. You know, my top 20 favorite wrestlers, he'd be in there. I might do that, but I guarantee I'll rewrite that list around 7 times. But well, you know what? Screw it. My favorite wrestler of all time is Ric Flair. That's all I'm going to give y'all. You know, my favorite wrestler of all time is Ric Flair. That's going to be my favorite wrestlers list. Ric Flair, and a whole lot of other indie guys. Pretty much, yep. But and I want to rank my favorite, worst to best TODs. Soon I might do that. But speaking of bad TODs, TOD 12 is the worst, by the way. It's gonna tell y'all that, like, whenever I make my list, TOD 12 will be Numbers 16. I can't stand that tournament. It was god it was god awful, and that's because Scotty Vortex was terrible in that tournament. I'm kind of glad Scotty retired. I'm not a fan of Scotty. In my opinion, he was the worst of the Naptown four. Drake was the best, then Die Hard, then OMG, then Sky. That's just that's what I think. And I like, and oh yeah, the Young Dragons I like a lot. Um, Trip Cassidy, Dale Patricks, and Josh Crane. I don't know. I forgot who the other one is. I don't really care about the other one, but those three are. I like Trip. I feel like he doesn't get enough exposure today, but I like Trip. His match with Claxton was good. Oh yeah, and let me talk about Vicious Outcast Wrestling, and then I'll talk about GCW. Then start to wrap it up. But Vicious Outcast Wrestling is a good death match and wrestling promotion. Envy Young versus Tony Devlin was awesome. I loved every bit of that match. Also liked the Connor Claxton versus Schlack, and I'm a big Schlack fan. I love Schlack. He's awesome. He's awesome. Um, it just this they had a show about like 3 days ago. I think I don't know. 4 days ago. It was zero F's given, and that looks like an alright show. It doesn't look as bad as the West Virginia Deathmatch show, but could surprise me. Um, and the Lord of Anarchy, G Raver versus Dale versus some other versus Josh Crane. That should be the finals. G Raver versus, I'm gonna go ahead and call it right now. G Raver versus Dale versus Marcus Crane. That's gonna be the finals with Dale. Well, you know what, G Raver. I guarantee G Raver will go over this year in the finals between Dale, Marcus, and G Raver. That's my prediction for the finals, and that should be the finals, honestly. You know, that's my opinion though. Like three of the most hardworking guys, and all right, now let me talk about GCW. GCW, I love GCW. Um, their Road to Survival was one of the best deathmatch events that I've ever seen, and it had good wrestling. And one thing that I like about GCW is it's a balanced show. Like they'll have three or four death matches, along with three or four straight matches, and I like that. That's why I like GCW and CZW. Oh, you okay, girl? But I still think CZW is the top of the. CZW is like is in that mountain of the top indie companies. Them, PWG, and some Mexican uh, promotion, some Mexican and Japanese promotion. I don't know. Another thing I want to talk about, man, Mexican death matches are crazy, man. Them Mexicans are crazy. I like Violento Jack, whatever you want to call him. He's awesome. He at GCW Road to Survival, he's awesome. And another person, who else do I want to talk about? Supreme versus Matt Tremont. Matt Tremont got something in his eye. That's about it. That match, for what it was good. I was not expecting anything good because it's Supreme. He was never really that good, and now that he's like 50 something, I get it's eh. Um, Marcus Crane, Marcus Crane fight. Oh yeah, Marcus Crane versus Jimmy Lloyd, or I mean yeah Lloyd. Um, Bundles of tubes and barbed wire boards. That match was awesome. I enjoyed every bit of that match. Joe Janela versus Pensa. Or is that what his name? I don't know. I don't know his name. Just I know that I like him. That was a really good match. I enjoyed that. What was the other guy? Said three of them. I think there was one more. What was that one more? Oh man. Oh well. I don't care. Oh yeah, Viking versus Slack. That was another good match. Um, that had everything in it. I felt like I love Slack and Viking are awesome. It's a shame that Viking doesn't really wrestle anymore. You know, he got pulled out of the VOW shows and all that, man. I don't know. That just disappoints me. It just does. Because I like him. I like him a lot. And I feel like he didn't really get that much exposure until he was starting to retire or something. But his match with Schlack was good. The staple gun spots were awesome. Yeah, pretty much. And I'm just gonna wrap this up with indie wrestling is really good today. All you people that don't like the indie wrestling today and say it's trash, you need to be mentally. You need to go to a hospital and make sure that they need to check you for something like a tumor in your head or something, because that is a serious problem if you say indie wrestling is bad today, because it doesn't matter if it's your opinion. Your opinion is wrong. That's what I like to say. If your opinion is stupid, then it's wrong. And you can call my opinion stupid, but I really don't care. I really don't care. But I'm just gonna wrap this up. Um, Support indie wrestling, support deathmatch wrestling, support everything. You know, support if you're a wrestling fan, check out other indie promotions. Go support your local promotion. And here's the thing for all you people who want to get trained. Get trained by people who have experience in the business, like AR Fox's school, like in Georgia. Whenever I get enough money and I become of age, that's where I'm going, because it's close to where I live, and just AR Fox is amazing. He's one of the best wrestlers of all time. You know, indie wise, he's one of the best wrestlers of all time, and he knows the business. He can give me pointers like the Dudleys and CZW Dojo are those three are people who I'd recommend on the East Coast. All right, but I'm wrapping this up. Going on 22 minutes. But support indie wrestling. Learn your politics. This is excluding wrestling. Know your politics before you open your mouth about politics. What else? Oh yeah, don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. Um, and just don't make stupid decisions. If you don't want dumb consequences, then don't make stupid decisions. Or if you're like me and you just want to have fun, then go for it. But